Perfect song for whatever we're about to discuss today. Mimi, stop looking at me like that, like you don't like the song.
I love the artist.
You don't like the song?
I love the artist.
Sing the chorus. Petri, Petri. Okay. Anyways, time for Lifestyle Daily, and today we're having a conversation on sex, the new hello. You know, my producers have a twist to this whole thing. So, yeah, sex, the new hello. You understand. But joining us for the conversation, we have Shovesky, my brother Shovesky. He's a counselor and a motivational speaker. And we also have Mrs. Perfect, Kuma Ojo, who happens to be a counseling psychologist. I am very excited to have both of them on this conversation. You don't want to know why. You just have to stick and stay right here on the show and you understand why. But anyways, welcome to the show once again. And we are trying our possible best to find out how is it that these days modern relationships are increasingly created just around sex. You talk about relationship and the next thing is sex. How is this happening? And what are some of the factors that are drifting this conversation? I'll start with you, Mrs. Perfect. Shovesky, why you throw off?
Make a woman start there.
Make she start there.
Yeah.
All right,
But she lived the tempo.
She lived the tempo and then we carry on.
But it's sex. And it's the men who mostly...
Yeah, so
But now
call
things
for,
are changing.
no, call for, you are
Mrs.
calling for
Perfect,
the
this
sex.
one that you have brought, dear.
What do you mean?
No, these days it has changed, though.
Eh.
That's what I'm hearing.
That's what you're hearing.
Statistics
That's why you
wise.
won't worry. It's I don't know whether it's happening in marriages. Tell us.
No, it's not about marriages, but
The fact that
I
you're
mean,
married doesn't mean you shouldn't still know more about sex and know how to upgrade
No,
yourself.
that's not my
and
point, though.
update
That's not my point, though. I'm saying that. So because this issue is not about marriage, we're going to take it away
Yeah.
from the marriage
yeah,
conversation.
it's
so
not about
it's just a
marriage.
problem of now.
Yeah.
Once you talk about relationship, the next thing is
It's
how
sex.
is our
Yeah.
sexual life going
Yeah.
to continue from here? From the way the men think that the moment you propose to a woman, you have become her father. That's the same way.
Yeah.
She becomes an orphan automatically.
Yeah.
And the one who
Yeah,
takes her.
but sex is two ways, so it's got nothing to do with father or anything because we are both enjoying it.
Yeah.
Please, this man wants to do the conversation, but we'll not go there. Let's stay on sex being the new hello. How it has become now
the norm.
the norm. Thank you for the word. The norm that once a relationship starts, is driven by sex.
Thank you. And once again, I'd like to say happy belated birthday to myself. Yesterday was
Oh,
my
yesterday was your birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, happy birthday,
I mean,
happy
shows
birthday
you are
to
such
you.
intelligent.
June bonds are awesome.
And
Amazing.
Are you two June?
Yeah, I'll be June.
When?
11th of June.
Oh, your own pass.
Yeah, my own pass.
So the
okay.
twins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still add July to it. And
Yeah,
I would
it's
say-
June, July.
Yeah.
June,
Yeah,
July.
combined.
July for no moon.
No, combination.
Yeah,
Combination.
pardon.
Family count. And then
And
the end June for trade year.
Please,
So,
again.
yeah, you realize that sex is the new hello because our culture has changed from where we're coming from. And I like to touch more on the generations, right? When we are talking about culture, we are talking more about the generations. You realize that now we have the Z generation, we have the millennials and all that. You realize that it's the millennials, the Y and the Z that are having the sex more because when you take their ages, right? So from the 1977 to 1995, then you have the 2000 babies and all that. You see, our culture has changed a lot.
Yeah.
First, you have to wait for puberty. You have to, you can't even talk about sex.
Yeah.
Getting sex information was quite difficult. I quite remember there was this newspaper, PMP.
Yeah.
That was an ebony that
Yeah.
was showing
Yeah.
these naked pictures,
Yeah.
and even when you see them, your parents will be like, "Yo, don't
Hey,
buy them."
Kataweni.
You get it.
Yeah.
Then this small books that they talk about sex, the pregnant virgin,
Yeah.
mass in the bedroom. That's why you can read and get a pic about sex. But now things have changed. And our culture values too have changed. Now we are more open. And with the advancement of technology, now it's easy to access information. So it's easy for the generation now to access information, to know more about sex, and even to talk about how we feel. Because first, if I see you and want to date, you want to go the primitive way, getting to know you, the parents coming in, and sometimes the parents who are even coming to arrange and all that.
Yeah.
But now it's not that. We meet on Facebook, I like you, I slide into your DM, we start talking. You can even send news, let me see this and all that. I get excited, let me somewhere, we do pak, poposki, then we are off we go. You understand?
Whiskey.
Oh, that is, give me quick.
Poposki.
Yes.
Me
That
sure,
one.
eh?
That sounds like
Please.
Chauveski.
Poposki, the Chauveski here. Say it like
We
you.
don't have time. You see, lunch break, we want to do something. Let's do it. You get so now things have changed. So when I see you and mostly we are more driven by the physique. You understand? First, we want to look at the character,
Yeah.
the family that you are from.
Yeah.
Even we consider the children we are going to bring forth. You understand? Even getting giving birth out of wedlock was frowned upon. But now it's kind of with the feminists and all that kind of new age. I'm getting to 40 and I'm not getting the
just
man.
gonna give birth.
Let me get a baby and I'm cool with my baby. We are twinning and we are all going. You understand? So now things have really changed. Advancements of social media, you go on TikTok, people are doing the online dating around 8 now. You realize that give me your pictures, I like you, then they start doing all that. So things are really advancing. So when it comes to relationship, things have also advanced. So I need not to know everything about you, even need to know your surname before I realize that we click. I want to have that sex with you. So let's jump into it. And we are having its adverse effect in society because of advancement, technology, we neglecting our culture, our traditions. You realize that now when you meet anybody, you just want to see what is beneath. And even now, you see people you don't even have to imagine because it's all thrown in your face. It's thrown, the booze and everything is thrown in your face. So this is what I want. Then let's get to it.
Wow.
Chauveski, what do you think is a contributing factor from the male's perspective?
Well, the women are very tempting. I mean, they are showing revealing stuff. Now the dressing has changed. Like, it's like now you virtually see a lady and all you can think about is sex. Because it's appealing. It's like she's calling you, come for me. You know, before it wasn't like that, but now it's like social media.
I want to see you. It's not me playing feminist because everybody knows I'm no feminist.
Good.
But if a woman, aside of the ones that reveal the breast, which by the way, you men have told us that those are not the women you want to marry. So we've heard, and it's sunk in our head. You see a nice lady who is nicely covered, but probably she's wearing a bodycon dress. Curves, well, God has blessed the person with those curves. You don't want to see beyond what you just want to sexualize the
Object.
see the
Yes,
girl as an object of sex,
Yeah.
rather than thinking beyond that. If she's not calling for it, because I have personally been in situations where everybody knows me that me body dress but the person is thinking completely about it because in their minds, or a media girl, or they sexualize everything you represent and never look at anything beyond that. That is where I'm coming from. I want to come from there. Because when the person is not showing things, why is it that the sex still becomes a conversation?
You see, because the showing thing is general. So whether you're showing or not, because now the norm is showing, the mentality is that every lady is looking for it. One, now when you start having a conversation with a lady, okay, my gas is finished. Oh, my rent. So point is, if you want to take from me, then I'll take from you. You understand? It's like a transaction. And you know that men are automatically attracted by what they see, and women by what they hear. But now it's not just what they hear, it's what you give them. That's the drive. I mean, once you give woman money, she's turned on. It's like money turns them on now. So the guys have also programmed that, okay, so now if it is money, Because we feel like, okay, sex is like a mutual agreement. Like
Yeah.
we are both having fun.
Yeah.
We are both enjoying ourselves. But with the woman, it's not like that. It's like, okay, you want me, then pay to have me.
Transactional.
It's transactional. So it's become a transactional thing. It's bad. It's terrible.
What even makes it bad now? So I was having a conversation with my friend Kwame, and a friend of his was coming to Ghana, and said that, listen, you need to give me some of those cute girls in Ghana. He was like, why? I don't give girls. He was like, no, right now I've seen that, you know, there are lots of girls in my DM. The guy is a celebrity. It's like, there are lots of Ghanaian girls in my DM ever since I announced that I'm coming to Ghana. So you get me some of those. He's going to send the pictures of the girls, you know, who have sent their pictures. And he sends it to Kwame, and Kwame was like, Mimi, what was that one day now? Because the thing is falla on the market. So since they're going to go and get it for free, why would they keep you at home?
Yeah.
When you go
Why pay for the milk when you can get
when
it?
you can get the
No,
when
you
you
can't.
can-
And the
when-
milk
why
for
pay
free.
for the cow when
No,
you can
you
get
still
the
get.
milk?
You are going to get the high value one.
Thank you.
You get the
Now
high
we can
value
move
one.
on.
Yeah, I mean, thing is, you see, when you watch television, when you look at music videos, when you watch movies, it's like the women are always
Sexualized.
sexualized. Like
Yeah.
it's all sex. When you turn around, sex. You're driving, you see some. It's like you go like, what are we in right now? Like, what kind of temptation is this?
So,
It's so tempting.
so mentally, you guys have been psyched to go for the sex.
No, of course. Men, you see, men are we love to be intimate. Like we love pleasure. Men are wired for pleasure. You understand? No matter how tired a man is, when he has sex, he's calm, he's relaxed. Do you understand? So if you show us, that's all we focus on. But if you make us know, because I tell people that, why do you focus on getting into the girl's pants instead of focusing on getting into her head? Because once you get into her head, okay, the panty or the sex is an incentive. But you need to know how the person is thinking. You need to relate. For me, like this, I love the mind more than I love the body, because it's how you're thinking that affects how you're feeling. So it's very important that you vibe with the mind. But now it's like sex. Because after sex, what next?
They can't even have conversations
Yeah.
with you after the sex.
Exactly.
They can't.
They can't.
I think first, I mean, this is the question that will be posed. And it's a very funny question that just after the sex, whilst you're on the bed, so now what are we?
We are
Yeah.
the way.
So now
We
what
are
are
the
we?
children.
You get it? But it looks like these days, the question is not even popped again. It's like, okay.
We get it.
We get it. It's done. You get it. And can we also get, instead of sex, the new hello even, as a subsidiary of this, can we also get into the friends of benefits conversation?
Friends with benefits.
Friends
Friends
with
with
benefits,
benefits,
conversation, because that also aligns with the sex, the new hello. So it's like
So
anytime
there's two positions now. There's
Yeah.
the friends with benefits and the situationship.
Relationship, yeah.
situationship.
Yeah.
Now, situationship, no, we will do everything, right? Everything that relationship people are doing, but there's no title to it.
There's no sex to it.
Yeah,
No, there's no title.
There's no
Title.
title.
Washing, bathing,
Ah,
cleaning,
okay.
everything.
But
I
we
didn't
don't
know
call
about that one.
ourselves.
Oh, situationship, no.
No, that used to be understanding.
Yeah.
You understand? Like you are in the
You have an
university,
understanding,
you
yeah.
have a girlfriend at home.
Okay.
She's also having a boyfriend at home. Then
Okay.
you meet. Then you know that on campus you are dating.
No, but
you
no,
are, yes.
situationship, no, commitment without commitment.
yeah.
No, you see, it's like on campus you are there, but you know that you can't be with the person for the long haul.
Okay.
You understand? So there is nothing like future to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for now, when we meet,
Okay,
we have a
it's
future.
within that
yes,
period.
we did.
When you are
We, do,
there, you have a future.
we have a future. But when we are apart, there's no
There's
future.
no future.
And with the benefits, it's like we are friends, like bestie, kind of. We are friends, but I get something from you. You also get something from me. So behind closed doors, we do our things, right? But when we
both
step
know-
outside,
we know we are friends.
we are friends. So the friendship tag is all the, he's my friend, he's my personal person and all that, but we chew ourselves. We chew our body, low key.
I'm sure you are confused
Get it?
because it looks like the
Yeah.
situationship. But situationship, we don't call ourselves friends in
No,
public.
no.
Okay, so if
We
I
are
see
nothing.
you,
We are
I don't know
nothing.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did.
When it's mutual, then we make it a ritual. Because it's,
Chai.
you see, it's an
Chai, dear, chai.
Chai.
Dear, chai.
it's an understanding.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we are not demanding.
Yeah.
It's it's easy. Like we are both willing, and once we are willing, it's fulfilling, and
Can
we keep it.
Can we touch a little bit on the health implications with this? Because this morning, I just also read that, when it comes to the HIV/AIDS statistics,
Every morning.
we are just seeing that
Every
there's
day.
100,000 people
Yes.
that
Living with
they are looking for them. Literally, they are looking for them because they are spreading out
Yeah.
like wildfire.
Yeah.
So this is a result of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a contributing factor,
Yes,
actually.
Please touch
a
base on
major
this
one.
health.
It's a major one. You see, if we want to touch on AIDS, we need to touch on our culture value and what is going on in the society. Because we are having the mass media mostly sometimes projecting sex. And we are sexual beings. When you take the Abraham Maslow hierarchy of needs, you realize that it's part of the needs that we need to. But you need to get to a certain age before you can have that, you feel,
Access.
yes,
Yeah.
access. When you go to the Netherlands, it's one of the rights that you need, the right to have sex is there. You understand? So it's part. But with our society, realize that the drinks they advertise is about how men can be men.
Yeah.
And the drugs is how women can be more tighter and all that. So every day, everything is bombarded at you at have sex, have sex, have sex. And the men, because of that, they are self-control is going down. You understand? Formerly, they have that strong self-control, but now it's going down. The strong self-control helps them not to resist certain temptation. But now it's just zip down, let's do, off we go. And this is not just the singles. The married men too are doing it. People are married and they are still searching for their soulmates. They are messing around and all that. So marriage doesn't keep that. We are talking about sex and people are married and still having sex outside. So it's there. But you see, HIV is increasing because people are not being careful with their sexual lives.
Okay.
People are having a lot of multiple partners and they don't protect themselves.
Protection, yeah.
So if I'm having sex with A and A is having sex with B and B is having sex with B1, A is having sex too with A1, so it continues. So before you
it's a
realize,
chain.
it's a chain. So we need to break the chain about being faithful and using condoms. You understand? And we talk about sex, but we are kind of hypocrite about it. We should place it out there that you will not feel shy when you go to the pharmacy to buy condoms. You don't feel shy when you want to you have HIV, you want to get tested, you want to go for your drugs. You should not, because if you have a lower count, you will not even infect the next person you have sexual intercourse with. But this is a situation that people have the HIV, but they are not testing, they don't know, and they are spreading it. Because the stigma and like the holier than that, we are all in the church, but even from the church, staircase, we are doing it. You understand? Even behind the pulpit, they are doing it. The pastors are all doing it. So why don't we take the veil off and have...
on the pastors.
Charlie.
Speak
They are also
freely, speak
human.
freely,
They are
speak
also
freely.
humans.
Yeah,
Speak freely. Speak freely.
Men of God.
Function.
No, you cannot
Speak freely.
function. You
Speak
cannot
freely.
function. Hey, Papa,
Speak freely.
I hear.
You
Speak
can,
freely.
Madam.
You cannot.
Maybe you can say some.
Some, yes.
But
Yes,
what
you
she
can
said,
say
she
that.
said pastor. She doesn't mean all
Oh,
pastors. She
yes.
means
But
some pastors.
some
No,
are
And
but
which
you
is a
can't
rea-
say, but my viewers are very
Yeah.
discerning people. When you say something and you open it, it
Yeah.
is what it is.
Okay,
So
okay,
let's
pastor.
say
So
some
Yeah.
if we want
So
to address
some
them. Yes.
are also doing it. Not just them. Like we are talking about religious leaders. They are
Yeah.
they are human beings first before that title. So now that they are also liable to err. You understand? So they are all doing it, but we should rather have this conversation of taking the stigma out and knowing that now we are in the era when we talk about this new generation of kids. I teach in the second cycle, and they are not shy to do videos talking about the sex and all that. Formerly, you can't even have sexual affair with somebody and
Yeah.
discuss with your friends.
Yeah.
But now they're open to discuss it.
Yeah.
They're open to show that, like, I'm a girl, but I'm good in sex and I'm all that. If you
It's a
want me-
competition
it's-
now.
Yes. And hookup is easy for you to go to Telegram and get somebody to... It's easy. Now, getting access to sex is easy. And sex comes with a lot of implications, like the health aids we are talking about. So why don't we open up the conversation? Let's not be like the ostrich and bury our head in the sand and our is showing. Let's give people the tools that if you want to have sex, condoms are there, have it. And have regular checkups. If we're sexually active, go to the hospital, have tested, get your drugs. I know some people, Kumar say they need to come all the way to Suhum for their drugs. Some in Accra, they need to go to the next place to have it. But if we are open about it and they are more confident, we have the adverts going on about HIV and all that, their body count will be low. So we will not have the majority of people in the population that they don't even know that they have sex, and they are having all crazy besties and situationship, friends with benefits, and a lot, one night stand, hookup, and all that. Because we are human beings. Sex cannot be taken out from our lives unless we try to be.
Now, we deviated a little bit, so let's come back to the conversation. We're talking about how sex has become
The new Helen.
a regular thing now. Like, once we start a relationship,
Casual.
sex has to continue, which, by the way, probably wasn't the case. I wasn't there then. Now I'm here, and my generation is just a big, fantastic mess. But let's get back to it. Now, the psychological and emotional aspect of it. So for some people, it is almost as if you get into a relationship or you meet a guy, let me speak for the women, and then you guys can speak for yourself. If you don't give sex, it's like the relationship, where are we? Like, a guy can even ask you, where are we? Because you don't want to, give in to me. Another thing that I heard recently that blew my mind was a man was talking about a girl. Talking about, oh, girl, no, oh, yeah, good girl, like, I really, really, like, I'll do everything for her. My friend Cry said she should come home anytime she's coming, like, she just, she's giving her, so she's available. And I'm like, that makes her a good girl? And I'm looking at this old man talk about this young girl, like, that makes her a good girl. Because she's like, wow. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, she's very available for sex. It makes her a good girl. It's what an older man described a young girl to be. Because she's very available. Oh, besides, yes, a girl, a very, very good girl. I mean, she doesn't monetize our sexual relationship. Shimansky, do you feel like these kind of things, long term, have emotional and mental implications on the women?
Yes, I strongly think so, because you see, if all we think about is sex, all we focus on is, okay, let's have sex, let's do this, you realize that when it gets to a point, because you see, when a man is getting more of the sex, it gets to a point, he'll get tired of it. Do you understand? It'll get to a point now, he'll start realizing your faults. Now, from the beginning, I'm getting it all. Like, I'm getting the sex, like, I feel like she's into me, and all of that. I'm loving it. But after time, now you're looking at her well. Now you're looking at her flaws. Now you're looking at her faults. So it gets to a point, you don't want to give the sex even the way you used to give it. And now the lady starts feeling like you don't love her anymore. Psychologically, she feels like you have somebody else. I'm unable to please you anymore. It's like, I don't feel that you're there for me anymore. You realize that there are no values. There's no proper communication. Because, you see, these are the key things in a relationship. Value, communication, and emotional bonding. Okay? But if we limit everything to sex, the focus is sex. After sex, nothing more. When you get the sex from the beginning, you don't really know who you're dealing with. You only know the sex aspect of the person. So now, what else? Now I've got the sex. You need to, but the right way is building the relationship.
Okay, I was just about asking, which one is the proper way?
Building the relationship, being friends. See, there's nothing like marrying or being with somebody who is your friend. Because you see, love doesn't keep marriage. Love doesn't keep relationship. It's the friendship that does. That's the greatest thing. No, because the love can fade and come again. There are times that you're so in love. And there are sometimes you feel like we are just housemates or something like that. But it's the friendship that keeps the bond. It's the friendship. So when we even have an issue, because I have something to discuss with you, I even forget that we have an issue. And I'm willing to talk to you, because if I don't talk to you, you bear me, because we are so close. I feel like I need to talk to you. I feel like I need your advice on this. But if it is just limited to the sex, after the sex, now they are married people. After sex, there's no communication. In the house, after sex, that's it. It's like, when we want to have sex, then we come together. When we want to have sex, then you're nice to your wife. Then after the sex, then nothing. You don't really know what your husband is about. He doesn't know what you're about. And then you have some guy somewhere who is chatting you and you're updating on oh, today work was good, but I'm feeling like this, and all of those kind of things. It's
And your
breaking home.
partner is home.
And your partner is home. And you can't really have a conversation
Yeah.
with your partner. You having a conversation with your colleague at work, who, if you don't take care, when your husband travels or you people fall out in a way, you start having sex with.
Yeah.
So it becomes a sexual thing.
In the same light, what do you make of the psychological aspect of this entire thing, prioritizing sex over any kind of, value in relationships?
You see, that's why we have a lot of people enter marriages 2-3 years, they want to divorce because they never got to know the person they were dealing with, the other side of the person. Sex is okay, but in marriage, we have other things, as he said, that get the bond, the commitment. And I always say that when you take men, the psychology of men, you realize that if you meet a man, is the lust, is the love, is the adrenaline and all that, the hormones that is getting him attracted to you. But you must let him, you must manage that hormones for him. If you allow him that day, he can even have sex with you. But if you allow him to have sex with you, then he will not be able to commit to you. Because the hormones are high, if it decreases, he doesn't see any value in you. So when you meet any guy, that's why we always say that you need to wait for a time. Let him build, let him get a reason why he's with you. So I'm with you because you are intellectual, I like your conversation, I like something about you. And that will form the bond. But if you don't bond with him and you want to bond with sex, you always chase him. And men don't like women who chase them.
Yeah.
You need to be in your feminine energy and allow him to chase.
Yeah.
So that old man who was saying that the girl was all that, because of his generation, things weren't like that. But now, yes, he's thinking the girl is giving sex and all that. She's not even asking for money. But when he wants marriage, he wants to ideal partner, a high value man who wants somebody who is coming in not with sex. Because anybody can give sex. Sex is an art. We learn it. You understand? So there's more to a relationship than the sex. And one thing is, you realize that the more people start having sex without getting to know if they are going to be in a committed relationship or the rest, we have a lot of psychological issues going on. Because people are having a lot of psychological distress, mental health issues because of that. We are human and we are women. So if you realize that you start having, that's why if a woman has sex with a man, the next question she pops up, what are we?
Yeah.
And if she's not asking it, it's not that she still wants to feel some bond with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants you to go some length with her.
With her.
But this is, we just have sex and off you go. You don't even call to check if I'm home. You don't even call if I'm okay.
psychologically.
You understand? She's trying to block it, but this is not how we're made.
No.
So she's going to feel some way inferior. But deep down, she wishes she had that kind of man. So don't put yourself in that stress.
You're right.
No.
You're right.
Okay, because of time, how do we shape this? How do we shape this? Because it's become the norm. You meet a lady out there, whatever they are revealing. In fact, it's this whole thing. I saw it on social media. It was all about, these days weddings, and how bridesmaids would definitely dress, and how revealing their dresses are, and all that. And some people also were defending it and were like, but well, you are getting married. Allow them to also come and showcase what they are made of, and let's see whether people would be interested in them. But that aside, I mean, this is the new hello. How do we get to shape it for it to not necessarily look like, or is it that we cannot just because of the way technology is right now, or the way we've modernized things, or the way it is right now?
We need to talk more about these things. Our ladies, I mean, mothers and senior women, okay, need to speak to the generation. Need to communicate well with the ladies. Women, many matured women have gone through stuff, but they refuse to share it. They refuse to have a unit where they can speak to young ladies. So the young ladies feel left out. They feel they don't have somebody they can communicate to, somebody that can guide them and all of that. So they do what they like. Our ladies need to dress appropriately. It's one stage. And women have to learn to say no okay, and not focus on money.
Yeah.
It's critical. Not focus on money. Because you see, a woman feels like sex is all she can give a man. Like that's the honest truth. Because men will ask, so okay, after sex, what
do you bring to the
what do you
table?
bring to the table aside sex? But you see, psychologically, emotionally, prayerfully, these are ways that you need to keep a relationship and keep a man. If a man realizes that your morals are right, you don't have friends, you are not going clubbing, you're not going out left and right, and you're focused on your uplifting, you're focused on your well-being, you're focused on work, and you're focused on how well he would be. You care so much about him, he would make you a priority. But once it's just about sex, oh, when are we going to hang out? When are you buying me this? When are you doing this for me and all of that? Then it's like, okay, once I'm doing this for you, then I'll
keep on coming.
I'll keep on coming.
I'll as you continue with your submission, I would like to debunk this before you continue. You know I'll do this. Not a lot of girls that like to hang out are loose girls. Some girls like to spend their money in the club with their friends.
You see,
some girls like to hang out with people because they are social birds, and naturally that's what they thrive. Their energies, they thrive on these things.
Good.
They thrive on people being around them. It helps them mentally.
Good.
Now, if you're a man out there and you're looking for a very modest woman, I think you should look beyond the social, any social vices, their social engagement, because someone can be hyperactive by nature and be a very wonderful, loving, caring human being. Personally, I don't like the club. It's not my thing.
yeah, but
I'm not a good girl because I don't like the club.
you see, what you
my
need
point.
to understand is that
Yep.
appearance is critical. There are things that we men will look out for. Do you understand? You're a woman, you're speaking from that point of view. I mean, and a lady who is so outgoing, who clubs, who drinks, hangs out with girls and all of those kind of things, I wouldn't want to be with such a girl,
Okay.
personally,
Okay.
because I'm from the club. I understand how
And
it
you
works.
know, I
Yeah.
get it.
Do you get what I'm
Me, I
saying?
understand you don't like the club.
No, no, no,
I think
I'm
it's too
from-
loud. I
I'm
can't talk to
from-
whoever I
Yeah,
am with.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, who comes to the club? Who is in the club?
Okay.
If you meet, if we are in church
Yeah.
and I meet you in the club,
Eh.
hello.
Yeah.
I mean, it means that okay, we're on the same level.
Yeah.
You feel me?
So it's because of what you go to do in the club. That's
what
why
else
you,
are
What else are you going to do in the club?
Yeah,
It's like going to
But
church.
what
What do you go
happens
to
then?
church to do? What do you go to church to do?
to worship God.
Good. So what do you go
It's
to
about
club to
what
do?
happens in the club.
What happens in the
So,
club?
so for me, what
How
I'm
do you
trying
dress
ask-
to the club?
Okay, so it's about
What
what
do
is
you
happening
drink in the
there.
club?
Yeah.
You don't go to the club and drink malt and all of that. You
Yeah,
don't
but
do
me,
that.
I want to come to bed. I don't drink alcohol. I drink malt.
But I'm telling you, it's exceptional. But the
How am I
point is
doing
that
this to myself?
show me your friend and I'll show your character.
yeah.
Which are your cycle of friends? What do you portray? What are you showing to the next generation? What are people watching you and what are they learning from you? What are you posting on your social media?
Yeah.
What are you speaking about? How do you look? What advice do you give? It's very, very important.
So you and I met a young lady who came by here. Before we started the interview with her, we
Yeah.
went to her social media and we were like, what?
okay.
This interview could be hard.
Yeah.
Then this girl sits here and apparently she's a proper gem. Very intelligent young girl who had actually written a book. And when you went to her social media, it's a totally different, it's a misrepresentation of who she
exactly.
really
So
is.
people are living double lives.
So I asked her why. So because after the interview, I had
like
to
to know
drop-
the why.
I was so worried. I was like, hey, you cannot be this intelligent and waste your life. Why are you? And she was like, for a very long time, she hated the body she had. She hated that she was small and everybody was, people didn't like her. Like she couldn't even please her so-called men that she dated. She had a baby with one who doesn't even want to see her. Then she realized that, now she was developing in certain areas. And she started getting people's attention. So she started showing it.
Showing it, yeah. All of
Ever
them
since
do.
she started showing people her body
Now
on
she
social
has the
media, she
attention.
has the attention.
That's the dopamine.
This is somebody, who has struggled mentally. This is a mental problem, and she never got help for it. She navigated herself towards this, and it was hard for her. So sometimes the things that we see on social media,
So
it's a
that's
lot
still-
of things that
so
go
that's still sickness. That means she's still,
yes, that is so wrong.
Yeah,
She's
so
having
wrong.
Yeah.
she's still
a
sick.
mental issue.
Yeah.
You understand?
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. So if she's driving her well-being, her value from men liking her and all that, she needs to have counseling. She needs
Yes, she needs
therapy.
help.
You understand?
needs
Because she needs to. We all show
Accept
our
yourself.
good side. So if we are showing your bad side because people like your bad side, then there's an issue with you. Things are not okay.
Straight.
But for the question you asked, I like to say that if we want to change this, we should know that virtue is never outmoded. Godliness is never outmoded. Being a lady and being a gentleman, we have people, we have women, we have ladies, we have women, but not every woman is a lady. We have men, but not every man is a gentleman. So being a gentleman means that you have self-discipline. And as a man, you should be able to learn how to discipline your down region and know how to discipline your emotions.
Yeah.
You don't throw your hands. You must know how to control the energy, the excessive energy that you have. And as a woman, you must also know you should be disciplined enough to be a lady. You see, this doesn't go out of style. If you are a high-value woman, you're not showing your boobs, but you are attractive. We all know that.
Yeah, we know
you
that.
are attractive.
Yeah.
And men and high-value men are attracted to such women.
Yeah.
Women who dresses well, but their pieces are put together.
Straight.
Women who sit well, not showing themselves. Because I always say that more is attractive. If you dress well, it's more attractive than you showing everything. So if you want to attract that high value man, and mostly when you look at our society, the high value men in our society, they always go for
Modest women.
yes. And you see that they don't go for the curvy and all that. Because they want something up here, not just here. So if you have just here and up here, it's a plus. But if you have up here, it's better than you having all this and you don't have up here.
Yeah.
It's useless.
Yeah.
You understand? So all I want to say is that our society should still have our values, our ethics. Be a lady. Stop showing a lot. It's not necessary. You are just portraying yourself as being cheap. And be a gentleman. Have self-control. If a lady is exposing, that doesn't mean you should go call her and have sex.
We're wrapping
Wow.
up the conversation right now.
Yeah, so,
Messi, your
I
final
mean, you
words.
said something. Not, but I just want to add this to it. Not all men in suit are suitable.
Yeah.
You understand? There are people who are deceptive. I mean, people hide and pretend just to get to you and later mess you up and leave you alone. So be very careful, be very discerning, be very well cultured, and please keep values alive. And you would get the best man. Don't settle for less and continue to go through stress. Who am I trying to impress? Make sure you progress.
It's a bar. In fact, it's 4 bars right there. 16 bars.
Bars, my brother, bars. On this bars note, we are going to plug in. Later on the show, we have 2 amazing conversations that we're going to be having later on. So thank you so much for coming, Shavesti, and your beautiful self, always showing, exuding intelligence. Thank you so much for coming through. Now let's go straight into the plug.
For me, I'm in that man, I party bad. Better for Eva.